Good afternoon, everybody. My name is MiAh the King, and today we're looking at a game called Achilles, Legends Untold. A game just released on Steam in early access, selling for $20. Developed and published by Dark Point Games, it's labeled as an action-adventure Souls-like game that has co-op. I like the idea of co-op in a game like this, definitely. Top-down style of gameplay, and in this game you play as, quite obviously, the hero Achilles and his never-ending woes of his ankle allergies. Something about conflict between Hades and Ares, and I guess you get involved somehow. Want to know more? Well, alright, then let's dive on in and see if this game is worth your money and time, or if it's not. So, let's address the obvious pink elephant in the room. The game is in early access. Know what that means? Glitches, bugs, unfinished content galore. And boy howdy, does it have those. When I first started the game, it was automatically set up to an unknown resolution. Why do I say unknown? Because when I went to change it, the resolution was set to blank. Nothing. There was nothing there. It was just blank. Obviously, I had issues putting it to a resolution that would allow my mouse to sync up appropriately, but I did manage to get it to work. Then, when I was hit with massive freezing, lag spikes, and frame rate drops, I was forced to reduce the graphics to medium level, even on my badass gaming computer. And it still has lag spikes and frame rate drops, though they are better than what they were in the beginning. And about half of the subtitles don't match up with what the characters are saying, which was a bit confusing for me in the beginning until I just stopped reading them. But other than those, I didn't really notice anything else. Obviously the game is unfinished, and obviously it's going to have some bugs and whatnot because it is in early access. I personally like to judge early access games harsher than others because of their horrible reputation, but I'm not without any kind of understanding or mercy, so if I see something that is beyond what I deem acceptable for an early access game, then I bring it up. So far, I'm not seeing anything super bad enough to call it out here, but those lag spikes and those glitches, those frame rate drops and whatnot, those are pretty bad. I'm going to talk about those a lot in this video. So in this game, you play as Achilles, obviously. He goes, he fights, he dies, and then he makes a deal with the devil. Or rather, makes a deal with Hades. Go here, do that, maybe kill a few people, maybe do a few things, and he won't have to spend eternity in complete and utter darkness and silence. So now Achilles is working for Hades, and wow, the way Hades approaches him is so uncharacteristic in my opinion. Like, he approaches him like he's an old friend, and he's asking for him to do a few favors because he's in a tight spot, man. It almost made me laugh. Not like he's the king of the underworld or anything. And since when do Greek gods ask? Don't they always just demand and then give ultimatums? But whatever, moving on. The game is a little bit off, I have to say, when I was playing it. It felt off. It definitely has some issues. The first thing that hit me, other than the glitches and bugs, was the gameplay itself. It's not very intuitive for a game like this. I mean, its UI is okay, I guess, but so it's not really an RPG, at least not in the way I see RPGs. It's action-adventure, or it's a hack and slash, right? You know, you go from point A to point B, killing all who stand in your path, and that's pretty much all there is to it. And there's nothing wrong with those games, but it's like those games require a certain style of gameplay. Each enemy requires a different tactic or a set of skills to kill, rinse, and repeat. Okay, fine. But if you're going to do that, then the combat needs to be more, I don't know, fun? It definitely needs to be faster. Here the combat is slow and awkward and just doesn't feel right. The buttons and their placements aren't intuitive at all for someone playing on a PC, but luckily you can change them in the options that would better suit the PC players that this game is marketing itself to. So you're going to want to change those up when you first get in because they're really off. And the enemies, while difficult to fight, are a bit wonky too. First off, I never noticed the enemy bosses having a stamina bar, but you do. Oh, and it runs out just from a few light swings. I didn't know the super strong, heroic Achilles had the stamina of a 5-year-old. Dude swings a few times with his sword and he's all tuckered out. Maybe needs to take a little nappy nap before he continues his wanton destruction. The enemies though? Well, maybe they have stamina, maybe they don't. I didn't seem to notice it, but the bosses didn't seem to have any at all, which means that they can just keep attacking, swinging, and dodging all they want. But you have to use your stamina for swinging, dodging, and whatever else you might have to do, until they, with their limitless stamina, can corner your little baby and he's too tuckered out to dodge or swing. Look at the difference between my health bar and my stamina bar right now on the screen. This is Achilles at his prime, I think, and yet still can only take a few swings before having to stop. It really draws things out and makes them much more lengthy than they need to be for a game like this. Like, I understand if you're trying to be Souls-like and whatever, but there's got to be a limit, you know, at least make them equal or something. I mean, I couldn't do anything. I spent more time circling my enemies than I did striking them. Now, I've never played any Dark Souls game, but I did play Elden Ring. So I've seen things around. You know, I'm not blind to the world. I know a little bit about them, and I suppose this game really is trying to be like them. Like, for instance, when you rest at shrines, or as Souls players would see them, campfires, you can upgrade skills, you can equip new things and heal by resting, but if you rest, then all the enemies pop back up. Well, that's here too. Collecting souls for power-ups so you can level up, yep, that's here too. The enemies do a god-awful amount of damage even though they barely nick you, yep, that's here too. So it's plain to see that they really were trying to make a different kind of Dark Souls kind of game here. Although unlike in Dark Souls, here it's pretty easy to just walk out of the way of strikes and not even need to dodge them half the time. When I was fighting those skeletons in the beginning, I just kind of, you know, walked over and then walked around whenever they swang. Swang. Is that a word? Is swang a word? When they were swinging their blades, I just kind of walked out of the way. I didn't even need to dodge half the time. Now, when the skeletons, you know, up and surround me and I can't move at all and I'm getting hit 30 times a second, like, that's different. But when it was just one-on-one, it was really easy to beat them. Like I said, I played Elden Ring, but I was also super bad at it. The Souls-like game genre is not my kind of genre. Hate me if you want. I'm not saying they're bad games. I know a lot of people love them, and I understand why. I'm just one of the minority who doesn't like Souls games. I know, shocker. I'm sorry. Anyway, the game being in early access and having those bugs and glitches are starting to annoy even me at this point when I was playing the game. I was about 45 minutes in when I started writing this because I was just frustrated that I need a break. I can't really fight because in every encounter I'm hitting huge frame rate drops that are causing me to get hit or miss hits. Hell, sometimes when I'm standing right in front of them and swinging my blade, it still doesn't connect. Now, I don't know why that's happening. It must be another glitch, but that makes it even more frustrating. So I'm getting hit by these frame rate drops and these lag spikes, and it's just ruining every fight. So even me, I might be terrible, but I can still manage a couple skeletons. And apparently in this game, every time I go, the game lags or the frame rate drops, and my guy misses, and they hit and kill me. And it was getting frustrating, so I had to take a break. But I kept chugging along so I could try to figure out all I could to give to you guys out there. The game even has that whole "you died" thing at the very end when you die, just like in the Souls games. And when you die, you lose all the souls you've collected. And yes, you can recover them, just like in those other games. Honestly, I guess there's not a whole lot else to say. It looks good for the most part and sounds good for the most part. I mean, it's a top-down Dark Souls game with Greek heroes skin without the character customization. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. It has a cool skill tree system that you can use your souls on. It looks like the constellations in the sky when you're picking out your skills. And I'm sure that further down the line there's going to be more gear and stuff that you can get that you can kind of customize your playthrough. At least I hope so. But for me in my first hour, I didn't find anything like that. So, I don't know, this is hard for me. I have to put aside my distaste for Dark Souls games so I can judge one. Honestly, if you wanted a top-down Dark Souls game, this is a pretty good fit, and it'll scratch that itch for you. But should you buy it right now? I don't think so. Every single fight I was getting into is met with the lag spikes and the frame rate drops. I mean, every single fight I was getting hit with this. Do you know how hard it is to dodge and accurately hit your enemies when the game is literally fighting you the whole way? And I don't mean the normal way. I mean it's like your computer is fighting you and not letting you win with these glitches and whatnot. And the game doesn't just send one or two enemies at you. I mean, sure, they do that in the beginning, but as you move past that little tutorial, which, speaking of, the tutorial was kind of okay, I guess. It told you what you needed to know so you could learn and play, so I have no complaints with the tutorial. But anyway, once you get past that tutorial area and start the game in earnest, it starts to throw hundreds of skeletons at you. At first it's just a few, so you're thinking, oh, this isn't bad, I can do this. But then it's throwing dozens at you, and you're going to die over and over again. Not because you can't dodge, or not because you're not good, but because they literally pop up from anywhere out of the ground, and they sprint really fast, and they will surround your ass, and then you can't dodge or do anything, and you're dead, and you don't have a shield or nothing, even though you do in the beginning area. No, when you actually start the game, you don't have a shield anymore, so even blocking takes damage, and I was just getting mobbed over and over again, and I'm sitting here wondering, is this supposed to be normal, or is this an error in the programming? I mean, you don't have the reach, you don't have skills, because you're like using a little baby sword, like you're using a little sword that can't hit anybody 3 feet in front of you. You don't have any skills, and you don't have any health or stamina to fight that many skeletons, so run, I guess. And I mean, as far as I know, they never stop chasing you, so I don't know where you're going to run to. Honestly, I don't really know. Personally, this game isn't for me. I don't really like it, but I mean, if you like the challenge and you're a fan of Souls-like games, then you'll probably enjoy this, but I still highly encourage all of you out there to wait a little while. The game has some serious issues with its stability, programming, and a little bit of its quality of life, I guess. For a game like this, you need the smooth, reliable gameplay if you're going to be able to have any fun with it. If you're going to be able to progress at all, you can't be getting hit by these serious glitches that are messing it up. You know what I mean? Plus, for everything the game is offering you here, it's only asking for $20. I mean, the voice acting, the graphics, and the length of time it's going to take to beat this game alone makes this game worth that money. But I'd still wait because of those issues and stability. It is early access. You know, they're asking for an investment. They want you to pay $20 for something that might never actually see the light of day again. So it's a big risk. So if you like these games and if you're pretty confident that those frame rate drops aren't going to hurt you and you still want to give it a try, then sure, go ahead. I mean, I think the game could be good one day. Not for me personally, but for people who like Dark Souls types of games and aren't against the top-down style of play, I think they're going to enjoy this. It's challenging, it's progressive, it's different, and it does have some quality behind it, and come on, they're only asking for $20. But my recommendation, if you want to play another Dark Souls game, but you're a Greek hero, then check it out. Still wait a little bit, but check it out. Put it on your wish list or something. And if you're not looking for a game like that, then move on, because that's what it is. It's through and through a Dark Souls game. Don't kid yourself. Don't even try to be in denial, okay? It's a Dark Souls game, 100%. And if you don't like those, you're not going to like this. It's hard, it's unfair, and it's very challenging. So if that's not what you're looking for, then just go ahead and move on. But regardless, $20 for a game of this quality is not bad at all. Just wait for those glitches to get ironed out first, alright? Alright. Okay, that's all I got for this video. If you enjoyed it or found it informative, please consider supporting my channel. Hit the like button, leave a nice comment, and subscribe, please. Thanks so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you all again on my next adventure. So until then, I bid you all farewell.